Hey everyone, welcome to Front of the Apps. I'm Menti, and this is episode 95 of the Battleship Brawl Season 5 tournament. Yeah, we didn't go backwards 20 episodes. That would suck. Anyway, today's episode is the Puget Sound by Greyfell going into its last match. So make sure you head on over to the Discord to cast your vote. And then we've got the Claymore by a nickel facing off against it. Get the camera in position here, or, well, not a very good position, but I can see the Puget Sound, so I did my best. Well, those shells actually look like they're kind of on target. Oh, nope, went over. They looked on target, and then they did not. Claymore shells, and then just barely missing the top of this turret here. Just barely. Oh, Claymore taking some hits to the bow. Some pretty big holes. Blow out the floor on this completely. That's, oh. Right, okay, never mind. That copper painted, I was like, is this the version where I forgot to change the... Because the Claymore did get a round DQ for having, I believe it was wood. But I fixed it, and I was like, okay, I was looking, making sure, did I put the right version of the ship in? Claymore taking some more hits. Claymore down to 93.8. Puget Sound at 93.1. So, very close match so far. Oh, but the Puget Sound has lost half of its main guns. Yeah, these guns are pretty good at not being like blown off, not losing their cap, or not falling off the ship entirely, but they get disabled fairly easily. Which is better, but kind of marginally so. We got a barrage from the Puget Sound. Oh, looks like it's going to land pretty solidly. Almost in a little bit aft of middle of the Claymore, and then that mortar just came down and just stoink. Didn't really do a whole lot where it landed. HP value is still pretty close, and that's with the Puget Sound having lost half of its guns. It's still keeping up. That was a mortar shell that just missed. I think that was. Claymore's got some armor around its guns. Pretty thick bits of reinforced wood and whatnot. Sound has fallen behind now, though, down to 82.5, while Claymore is up at 87.2. Oh, I think the Claymore might be lacking individual local weapon controllers. So barrel damage is actually causing a lot of the Claymore's weapons to be disabled. Effectively disabled. Hey, look at all those shells just falling way short. Uh-oh. Yep, Puget Sound is getting DQ time. It is sinking, but it's above 80%, so it hasn't triggered the despawn yet. Those shells will fix that. There we go, that's an 80% in sinking for the Puget Sound. Alright, so 86 point... Oh wait, there's a couple of shells from the Puget Sound in the air still. Let's let those land. Alright, 86.4 is the Claymore's final score for round 1. Let's go ahead and get things restarted. Eventually. So my computer catches up with things here. Alright, there we go, and away we go. See here, is this initial volley going to connect it? Nope, it's going over again. Ooh, that rear gun taking several direct hits. And coming out rather okay, honestly. I'm a little surprised. I was expecting that to like knock out, you know, disable the entire gun, but no, it looks like 3 of the 4 barrels are still functional. Glancing blow to the superstructure there, not really anything major done. Puget Sound unleashes another barrage. I'm trying to catch up with the shells, but the camera's just not fast enough. They hit a little low on the Puget Sound here. I mean, the Puget Sound hit a little low on the Claymore. It just sort of occurred to me that I called the Claymore the Puget Sound there. My brain, which is like, hey, that was not right. Like 30 seconds later. Going for some bow shots here, but not quite landing. Oh, well, that mortar came in and landed. Made a nice little hole. Ooh, this time Puget Sound down to 88%. Claymore still at 96. Things... I mean, I wouldn't say the first round went well for the Puget Sound, but round 2 is going worse. Oh man, I was talking about how these turrets are pretty good at staying on. Well, I mean, I mentioned it, so of course. I mean, on the bright side, that'll help keep it from sinking? There's less weight? Question mark? Oh man, Puget Sound is getting ripped up pretty bad. Oh, she's going down now. And there's the 80% in sinking. And a couple of last minute shots off there. Let's see if they land, what they do, if anything. Alright, 91.6. That round went better for the Claymore. Not so much for the Puget Sound. Anyway, on to round 3 we go. Man, Claymore taking a lot of damage in the rear here, but that's because there's not really anything back here, so it's just holes getting blown open. This time, Puget Sound at 96.3, Claymore down to 91. Puget Sound's been landing some good shots. Ooh, some of those are heading for the turret. Oh, didn't quite get the turret. A little bit to the rear of the turret. Just carving big old gouges out of the solid hull of the Claymore. Oh, that mortar struck came down, hit the superstructure, and scattered fragments everywhere. You know, I get the feeling, especially with the new crams, that like airburst frag mortars might actually be pretty nasty. Like, they probably won't do much to things like guns, but they will wreak havoc on deck and hull armor. Well, not hull armor, like just thinner deck armor, because most ships only have like 1 or 2 meters of deck armor. Anyway, Puget Sound's still ahead by a good 5%. Let's see how she's doing. This turret not doing so well, lost 3 of its guns. 1 barrel might still be functional. Yep, that 1 barrel is still functional. This turret over here is having a bit of an issue. I don't know if all 4 of those are disabled or nope. That 1 barrel is still functional. I think. I think it just fired. Oh man! Oh geez, that's a big old hole. I just now noticed that. I was so focused on the turrets, I wasn't looking at the hull. Like, how the heck do you miss a hole that big? HP has kind of evened out. Yeah, really, what the Puget Sound needs is some upgrades to its longevity. Like I've mentioned it before, repair bots. maybe maybe a bit more size under the water to give it some more flotation. But even though it's winning in HP, the Puget Sound is very close to going underwater. Oh, that hit to the bow might spell the end. Now this compartment is flooded. It looks like the compartmentalization was destroyed, so it's both sides of the bow are now flooded. Like a hit right in here would probably end it. Let's go check on the Claymore, see how she's doing. Ooh, that's a whole lot of missing ship right. Oh yeah, the bow of the Claymore is barely holding on. Yeah, that beam's not touching anything. So it's basically this grouping of beams right there, and then these groupings of beams over here that are holding everything on. Ooh, that was really close to destroying some of those beams. I think it did destroy a couple. That would be disastrous. If that bow falls off, I don't think the Claymore will be able to continue. I think that'll make it too damaged. That's like a quarter of the ship falling off. And while there are several beams holding it on, they're all grouped together and they're all like reinforced wood. So one shell landing in that area and blowing up will probably take most, if not all of them out. A couple of direct hits to the oh wow, that gun is cored out pretty well. It's lucky to still be, you know, attached. Oh, is the Claymore out of guns? Just about. I think this turret's the only one it's got left. But it does look like it has all 5 barrels left. Yep, Puget Sound at 79.4, Claymore down to 70, because it only has that one turret left. Ooh, that one shell hit real low. This is another folly of the V-shaped shell. You got that shell hit down in here, and the explosion managed to get in there and damage the internals of this turret, because there's not as much armor down below. Oh, it looks like the Claymore is dead in the water. A whole bunch of blocks falling off there. That looks like superstructure crumpling off. Claymore is barely staying afloat. The question is, can either of these ships finish off their opponent in the next 3 minutes? Ooh, direct hit on that turret. And it really doesn't care. It's like, yeah, you hit me, so what? Actually, it looks like one of the barrels anyway can't actually aim. Both ships kind of critically wounded at this point. Oh, that was so... Oh, that actually did it. That beam is not connected anymore. So, these 3 beams on the deck and... Oh! Huge amount of the Claymore falls off. That may be just what the Puget Sound needed to be able to finish off the Claymore before time runs out. Just look at all that just crumpled off. Needs to get 0.8 or basically 1% damage in the next minute and 10 seconds. Oh, but unfortunately, the Puget Sound was not able to hold on and has sunk, with its opponent at 55.3%. Oh, that is so close. Oh, that's a heartbreaker for Greyfell, I'm sure. Oh, that was so close. Alright, I mean, that's still a decent amount of points, but yeah, not as much as it could have been. Anyway, this was the Puget Sound's last battle, so make sure you head on over to the Discord to cast your vote for it. And otherwise, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the battlefield.